Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be watching a fan-made video called The Originals Always and Forever. And it is by, let's see here, JDS Edits. Never watched a video from them before, but very excited. The Originals is obviously a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries, and I really enjoy the characters from this show. I used to watch the Vampire Diaries. I watched part of the Originals, but I don't know. At that point, I never finished the series, so I thought, let's watch a couple of videos about the characters, and maybe one day I'll rewatch and finish that series. Let's jump right into this.
We are the definition of curse. We are the strongest creatures in the world, and yet we are damaged beyond repair.
Yep.
Centuries later, each of us is broken. We live without hope. Always and forever.
This week marks 5 years since the fall of the Michelsons. 5 years of peace.
So I know, some of that stuff. I know that the Michelsons were gone for 5 years, but I didn't finish watching any of those seasons. I watched, bits and pieces through, YouTube and, random stuff like that. So, I do understand what's going on. They showed Elijah, I think, regaining his memories, if I'm not mistaken, from the last season. I watched, I think, most of the episodes from the last season. I didn't watch all of them. And, Cole holding Davina in his arms, which was probably when she died at one point. I feel like Davina's died several times in that show. I just don't remember. I think that's all that they showed. They showed Klaus, I think, right before the 5-year time skip.
We paid a high price for that peace.
Marcel, he had no choice.
I had no choice.
It had to be done.
Oh, they were right about you. Yeah. Anybody who's not your family is nothing to you. Nothing.
So as you are a family.
No, I'm not. You people destroy everything you touch.
You see, my brother, he cannot handle the brutal truth that he destroys everything.
You took away everything that we love. No!
My mom is dead.
She is dead.
See, that is actually very, very true. I mean, the original family returning to New Orleans at the start of this show was the cause and the catalyst for basically everyone that Marcel knows dying. I mean, I remember, I think Thierry was his best friend at the time or something like that. Whoever the best friend was, the one that played the saxophone, I think he died because, the only reason he was sent to the garden, the only reason that he died, it's all because the original showed up back into town. Now, that being said, the only reason they showed back up into town, it wasn't really their choice, but also Marcel betrayed them first. He completely betrayed the original family. Was it 100 or 200 years before the show actually starts up, right? And everyone, all the originals actually considered Marcel family, specifically Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca. Cole got put in a box because of him, but, it's just cool things. But I do understand Marcel's perspective as well, but it started, to be honest, with Marcel and Rebecca's betrayal of Klaus. I mean, they could have continued to live a life in New Orleans, and things would probably have turned out a lot differently, both from the Vampire Diaries and from the original's perspective as well. I don't even know if Klaus would have continued to search for a way to break the hybrid curse, because from what I remember, none of the flashbacks in the originals talk about him trying to break his curse. It's not really in something that's discussed or talked about. So I feel like maybe if he was able to continue to be that father figure and friend to Marcel, that would have been enough, because he wouldn't have been alone. The whole point of the hybrids was so that he had an army, so he had people that were completely loyal to him. But I mean, Marcel's betrayal was I do wonder if Marcel's betrayal also feeded into him becoming as reclusive as he became well, at the start of his introduction into the Vampire Diaries universe, right? Because at the time, even Elijah had fallen out of favor with Klaus, and then I believe 100 or so years later, something like that, Rebecca got put in a box. So we don't actually know where that shift came when Elijah and Klaus parted ways, but I feel like it probably all stemmed from losing Marcel. I feel like that was probably a big thing that we just didn't know when we were watching Vampire Diaries.
Do you hear me? I needed her and you've broken me.
You really think I'm broken?
You murdered our mother and both of your fathers.
Freya, I love you. There is no power in love. Family makes you weak.
You dagger your siblings and leave us in coffins for decades. Look me in the eye and do it, you coward. Elijah, do it! Do it!
Cheating out of all but the smallest portion of my life. I'm the wronged. I'm the dead.
Okay, I just heard Finn complain about being cheated out of the longest portion of his life. Well, that doesn't sit well with me because Finn was literally in a box, right? Majority of his life, right? And the reason for that was because he was daggered, whatever. The only real thing that he did before that was, I think, turn sage. That's the only accomplishment that he has as an individual before returning in the originals. I don't think he did anything else of note. I mean, he's also barely in the show from the Vampire Diaries perspective, right? And in that show, he comes back and all he wants to do is die. So I don't know how he can complain about not having as much of a life when his parents are the reason that he was immortal to begin with. His parents are the reason that he hated himself. It doesn't make sense. Like, Finn's motivations don't make any sense to me, in that, like, he just complained all the time. That was his entire purpose. It was just, I'm gonna complain and then want to not be a vampire, but also the idea that he has the audacity to try and destroy his entire family with his mother, right? At the start of the the Vampire Diaries, when they're all introduced and come back, it never sat well with me. And then that thing right there, just saying that he was somehow cheated from his entire life. Well, I don't really agree with that, because he would have been all sad and mopey anyway. I loved this statement too.
But never mourned. I got a family who didn't care if I lived or if I died.
They were my family too.
He was one of us!
And Elijah tore my heart out and threw me off a bridge. There is only one justice left for Davina, Cammy, and the boy I used to be.
Over the course of my
The
long
saddest
life,
part of the
I have
fall
come
of
to
the
believe that we
Michaelsons
are
there
bound
when
forever to those with whom we share blood.
Marcel took everyone down
That bond can...
is definitely that he also took down Cole. Like, of course, there was a lot of emotion also when he took down Klaus, but to me personally, I felt really sad when he took down Cole, because Cole loved Davina. One of the reasons why, I could be wrong about this, but I think that one of the reasons why Marcel was so angry with Klaus and Elijah was because it was their fault that Davina died. But that could have been a different season. I don't really remember too well, so very possible. And the fact that, like, I think there was a moment that Cole was told to, like, not even mention Davina's name when he was talking to Marcel, and it was very interesting to me. And I don't agree with that. Anyway, let's continue.
can be our greatest strength. We are here. Or our deepest regret.
You have near on a millennium to fix the problems of this family, and instead produce 9 centuries of failure.
This was our hope. This was our family's hope. And now she's gone.
She's gone.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that little girl you miss so much would be better off if she never loved you at all.
He's not better off without that child, Rebecca, and neither are we.
You know, when Elijah thought you were dead, he said we'd lost our family's only hope.
He's a family.
Hope.
Yeah.
Michaels.
All that you have ever wanted, all that we have ever wanted, was a family. This is us. The original family.
That's all Elijah was trying to do, all he's ever wanted for you.
1,000 years ago, we three made an eternal vow. Always and forever.
And we remain together, always and forever.
I was really sad.
shouldn't
It was
come
really
back.
sad about that
None of you.
because
That's what family does.
Marcel really was never part of
We
that.
fight for
It's
each other.
sad.
We stick together as one.
We stick together.
We stick together always and forever.
Always and forever.
Always and forever.
Always and forever, brother.
Always and forever.
I have brought into the world a weapon they can use against me.
Then we will arm ourselves.
See, I don't understand how Marcel was not as
And sacrifice the whole
synced in
family.
to the Michelson
daughter's
family
around here
as
somewhere, isn't
Haley.
she?
Something you must understand about this family.
Like,
Under threat,
just from
we
that
take
perspective,
action,
it's like
for better or worse,
Marcel was like
whatever it takes to
child
protect
to
our home.
You declared war when you came after my
But
family.
Haley, I mean, Klaus didn't even care about Haley to begin with, so it's very intriguing that Marcel was the one that ended up not being able to reconcile with everyone and actually become, I would say, a full-fledged Michelson. He defeated all of them. He's more powerful than all of them at the end of the series, but Haley was the one that was more considered family than anyone else, apart from maybe Rebecca's perspective, but yeah, I mean, that's really, really sad to me.
No one hurts my family and lives. No one.
You want more? Come on.
Oh, come on. I am not going to let anything take you. I promise you that.
By the way, I don't know anything at all. I don't know anything at all about Apollo or yeah, I really don't know anything
forever
about
to
Apollo.
those with whom
Just thought I'd mention that. I saw the blue light, and I know that's part of it, but
we share blood. And while we may not choose our family, that bond is
also I don't know if that death, right, the death of Klaus and Elijah, I don't know if it made sense for them to just fade into like ashes that like expand. 'Cause I don't think any other vampire died that way. Also, does Klaus and do they have a memorial or a coffin somewhere in New Orleans? Like, are they buried somewhere? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just curious about that because I don't think Finn died like that. I'm pretty sure Finn, when he initially passed, he just died like any other vampire. I would understand maybe if it happened to Klaus because he's not just a vampire, and then they could say that, but like even Elijah like faded, like there were like pieces of smoke that just come out, and the only thing it reminded me of was when Odin died in Ragnarok. It was very interesting because I think both of those came out around the same time too. Anyway, I really enjoyed this video. I mean, it showed a lot of cool moments from the originals. Yeah, I don't know. I know that the show gets a lot more crazy in terms of the magical, like the creatures and stuff and beings that exist out there. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll one day finish the originals. Let me know in the comments below if you liked this video. If you did, like the video as well. If you have any suggestions for what you want me to watch in the future, let me know that as well. And finally, if you liked the video, if you liked the content on my channel, please feel free to subscribe to see more from me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.